Well, thank you, Katrina, for coming on to chat a little bit about your experience of us working together through this year for the last 6 months. I would love, obviously, we don't have to go into all of the juicy details, like share as much or as little as feels comfortable to you, but I'd love for you to share a little bit about your experience, why you decided to work with me, and what the experience was like.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like, well, the decision to work with you was pretty easy. I did a couple of the workshops and it just felt really aligned in what I was looking to call in my life, especially like working on things and blocks around money and relationships. And so that was kind of like what initially drew me to working with you. And then once we started working together, I feel like so much more unfolded and unlocked that I didn't even really think about or knew was possible or knew I needed. And yeah, I think when I reflect back on the last 6 months and, the things that or the changes that I've seen, it's been amazing to actually notice how I show up differently in certain situations. So showing up differently in relationships or setting better boundaries, even like in friendships or in partnerships, communicate. I thought I was a good communicator. Now I feel like I communicate like 20 times better. And just even, in the realm of like sex and sexuality, just better owning those boundaries and understanding myself more, and what the authentic version of myself looks like. I think that was like a really big through line throughout all areas of my life that we really worked on, and I can see the major transformations.
Yes, I love that. And I'm celebrating you so much. I loved on our last call going through, you went through like the wins that you had and the changes that you had shared, and I was sharing from my perspective as well. So I'd love if you're open to sharing, you just shared a little bit around it, but like what are some of those big wins that you had some time to reflect on?
Yeah. So one major shift in realigning with my intuition as well. So like whether it's intuition or like my internal kind of compass, I feel like I've completely just like snapped back into alignment with it, and am just like in so much more flow with life and what brings me joy and pleasure and things like that. Um, Also releasing some blocks around money. Like I feel like I really do look at money as like an energy flow now, and I know that I'm capable of creating more. So releasing some of those limiting blocks as well. And in relationships, like I've completely gone from anxious attachment to way more secure. And situations in dating or relationships that in the past maybe would have caused me like so much anxiety and really impacted even how I'm able to show up in my work, have no impact anymore. Like I'm able to see so much more clearly, and also just really work through my anxious attachment, and I really feel way more secure in relationships. That's been like a huge shift, and not overextending myself or settling for things that I don't deserve, and really communicating what I'm looking for and what I'm hoping to receive from a relationship, rather than just waiting for that to happen. I'm like actually taking action as well towards that.
Yes, that is incredible. And I've loved to see that growth and transformation when I remember back to where you started and the place that you're in and the journey that you have gone through with all of that. Really, a lot has happened in such a short period of time. So it's really, really cool. I'd love for you to touch on two other things as well, because this is really common with a lot of the women that I work with, not feeling like they're showing up as their authentic selves. And then the second part is really struggling with decision making, which I know are a couple of things that have come up a lot for you. So I'd love for you to share a little bit around that.
Yeah. So I mean, what's been so helpful, and we did this early on, was really getting in touch with, who is that version of myself, untamed tree. So,
Yes.
naming it and then really getting clear on what that looks like and how to come back to that. So like when I feel out of alignment with that, it's just such a it's almost now muscle memory to really come back to that and say like, okay, what would my authentic self do right now? Or what feels actually really aligned for me? And that's changed the decisions that I make. So previously, and still obviously this comes up, but it's a tool that I have now where I'll make decisions based on what other people, you know, might want for me, or to make other people happy, or to out of fear of maybe disappointing other people. And then I minimize that voice of my authentic self and what I actually might want. So now it's like so clear where those voices are coming from and how to tap into my internal compass and guidance and my authentic self, and what would my authentic self decide in this moment, and really embodying that, and still acknowledging the other voices and maybe the other decisions. But it's so clear now, like whose voice is who, and you know, whose decision is whose, and where the decision is coming from.
Yeah, that's powerful, because so many people struggle with those people pleasing tendencies and are so used to making a decision based on this is what I want, but then what do all of the other people want, and then making a decision from that place. So it's really powerful to have that connection to authentic self, your intuition, and then making those decisions from ease is so powerful. So I'd love to know as well, what practices or things are you going to be taking away that you're going to continue embodying or practicing from our time together?
Yeah, definitely breath work. Like breath work and meditation has been so key. Like in the beginning, it was like a time issue. I would be like, oh, like I don't have time. Like I just need to jump to the next thing. And now it's like you realize that it actually creates so much more time because of the enhanced focus and things that you have. So I mean, some of the recordings that you shared with me, like I just do those daily now. They're just like a part of my routine. And obviously, like it came in waves, right? Like in the beginning, I was really doing it when I was in Costa Rica, and I was like really feeling at my best. And then like, you know, something happens and you kind of come out of it, but then you get back on so much quicker because I had you to like support that journey. And then also you keep rebuilding those habits. So now it's at a point where it's just like my go-to. If I need something, I'm like, I'm just going to do that 10-minute breath work because I love it and it helps.
Yeah,
so that's
I
definitely
love that.
one. Yeah, is the breath work. And then you've done like just some like a lot of visualizations with me before. That's honestly so helpful. Like that's been like the most helpful thing, because to pause and guide yourself through that is a lot more challenging. But kind of what I've been able to take from that is closing my eyes, tapping into, you know, like imagining what each decision would look like and what that feels like in my body. Like I'm way more in tune with my emotions and how I feel in my body. I don't think I ever listened to my body before.
Yeah, wow. That's literally life-changing. So powerful. Amazing. So lastly, what would you say to anyone who's thinking about working with me? Any words of wisdom?
I would say just freaking do it. Like,
Yes.
you like, you won't even know. I don't even think you can know or imagine like what you will get out of it. I think you can have an idea in your mind of some of the things, but it's like you're just going to get so much more. So
love that. Thank you so much for sharing, and I'm excited to see everything that you create, all of the magic that you share from here on out. And it was such an honor and pleasure to guide you and really get to know you over our time together. So thank you so much.
Thank you.